Men of Reddit, when did a woman seriously freak you out? Story 1. A buddy of mine had an ex who absolutely could not accept boundaries. One night, she showed up at his house, demanding to be let in. He refused, so this woman literally climbed through the pet door like a raccoon possessed by unresolved attachment issues. And at first, that detail almost sounds absurd enough to laugh at, until you remember there were kids in the house watching all this happen. He eventually managed to get her outside and stood in the driveway with his teenage kids, just trying to make sure she actually left. That's the part that wrecks me. Dude wasn't trying to fight, wasn't escalating. He was literally just trying to survive one more insane interaction peacefully. Then she snapped. Instead of driving away, she hit him with the car, multiple times, while his own kids were screaming at her to stop. And man, there's no punchline after that. He died from his injuries. That story permanently changed how I view people joking about crazy behavior in relationships. Because sometimes people hear stalking, obsessive behavior, refusal to accept rejection, violent outbursts, and they frame it like messy drama instead of danger. But unstable people are unstable people. Doesn't matter if they're men or women. Once somebody stops seeing you as a human being and starts seeing you as something they own, things can turn terrifying unbelievably fast. Honestly, the pet door detail still haunts me. Such a bizarre image at first, then suddenly it becomes the opening scene of a tragedy. Story 2. Matched with this girl on Tinder, and we hooked up a few times. From day one, I made it clear I wasn't looking for anything serious. No mixed signals, no fake future plans, none of that maybe someday nonsense. But I could tell she got attached hard. She kept pushing for more. More time together, more emotional talks, relationship stuff. Eventually, I sat her down and straight up told her, "Hey, this isn't gonna work." Thought it ended there. Ha ha. Adorable. She kept texting nonstop, so I blocked her number and all socials. Then I started noticing her number showing up in my recent calls almost every damn day. Apparently blocked calls still leave traces like a horror movie ghost refusing to leave the property. Months later, I get a random Snapchat request from an account I don't recognize. I add it because I'm an idiot, apparently. It's her. One message. "Come outside." Brother, my stomach hit the floor immediately. I look through the front window, and this woman is sitting in a car parked by my mailbox like she's conducting a stakeout in a low-budget detective thriller. And here's the really fun part. I never gave her my address. Now my brain's spiraling. Did she follow me home? Google me? Hire Batman? When I didn't go outside, she walked up to my front door and just waited there, looking absolutely wrecked, crying, begging me to take her back, talking like we'd survived a war together instead of casually dating for a few weeks. And honestly, I'm shocked I stayed calm because internally I was having the survival instincts of a trapped squirrel. I finally told her flat out, "If you ever do this again, I'm calling the cops." That's what finally snapped reality back into place for her. To this day, though, anytime I get a random friend request, my nervous system immediately goes, "Ah yes, the beginning of another documentary." Story 3. Bro, I accidentally hooked up with a future FBI field agent apparently. I met this girl twice. Total. We hooked up once. That's it. Barely enough interaction to justify sharing fries, let alone entering my family bloodline like some undercover operative. Then I get deployed. No phone, no internet. Completely cut off from civilization. I'm basically living like a confused desert cryptid, surviving off caffeine and government-issued disappointment. Meanwhile, this woman somehow tracks down my mom's house, which I never gave her the address to, by the way. Still want to know what dark website quest happened there. And introduces herself as my girlfriend. My mother believed her. Not only believed her, they became best friends. Besties. Brunch level close, talking regularly, hanging out, probably exchanging recipes while I'm overseas trying not to die in 120-degree heat that felt like standing inside an air fryer full of sadness. I come back and my mom's casually like, "Oh yeah, your girlfriend stopped by." My what? I genuinely thought maybe I suffered deployment-related brain damage and forgot an entire relationship. Like I was standing there mentally replaying my life like, did I accidentally marry somebody during tequila season? Nah. She just fully inserted herself into my existence like a software virus wearing lip gloss. To this day, that still scares me more than anything that happened overseas. Story 4. I swear to God, one night I'm just sitting there half dead after work, inhaling cold pizza and rotting into my couch watching TV, right? House completely dark except for the screen glow looking like a Walmart interrogation room. and something feels off. You know that weird animal brain feeling where your body notices danger before your brain clocks in for the shift? So I look toward the backyard window. This girl is literally standing outside my fence, silent, motionless, just staring at me through the glass like a damn NPC that forgot its dialogue options. Then, and this is the part that still makes my skin try to leave my body, I realized she had hopped the fence to get back there. My fence wasn't short either. That thing was like climbing a prison wall if the prison only protected mediocre lawn furniture. And she's just watching me watch TV. No text, no knocking, no, hey, just full raccoon at midnight behavior. I damn near folded into the couch cushions like, nah, maybe if I don't move she'll despawn. Which is insane because I'm a grown man paying utilities and suddenly acting like a hunted Victorian child. Still one of the creepiest things anybody's ever done to me. Honestly felt like the opening scene before a true crime documentary narrator says, he had no idea this would be the last normal night of his life. Story 5. I'd only known this girl maybe a week. We liked each other, vibes were good, she stayed over once, normal adult stuff. Then the next morning, I find a cute little note stuck to my bedroom wall with chewed gum, just mashed directly onto the paint like a nicotine patch for psychopaths. I told her the note itself was sweet, but now I probably gotta repaint the wall because apparently I'm dating a raccoon with office supplies. She seemed embarrassed, apologized, whatever. I figured, awkward moment, move on. Nope. That evening, I walk outside my condo and find another note on my doorstep. This one's 4 pages, front and back. Starts with apologizing for the gum, mentions she got the idea from some Chelsea Handler book, then immediately escalates into what felt like a hostage manifesto crossed with wedding vows. Mind you, we had known each other 1 week, 7 days. Milk in my fridge had longer emotional history with me. And while I'm standing there reading this thing, I notice a car in the parking lot. Her car. I walk over, and this woman is fully reclined in the driver's seat, hiding like she's conducting surveillance for the CIA. She admits she'd been sitting there for hours because she wanted to make sure I personally found the letter. Brother, my organs folded inward. And honestly, I still tried to be nice about it because men are socially programmed to treat red flags like carnival decorations. But then later, she casually bragged about scamming some other dude out of $400 by pretending she was pregnant, and my entire nervous system finally stood up and yelled, "Oh, okay, so we're dealing with a supervillain." Story 6. I'm a professional musician, and years back I met this girl through mutual friends. We talked for a bit, hung out once, and immediately I knew the chemistry wasn't there. No fireworks, no tension, nothing. Felt like a job interview at Applebee's. I told her straight up, I didn't think we matched like that, and she acted cool about it. Then she started showing up at shows. At first, it was local gigs. Weird, because she was hardcore homebody status. Like, crossing county lines requires emotional preparation type person. But okay, whatever. Then she appears at a show 3 hours away. Then another state. Then another. I'm touring across 4 states, and every time this woman materializes near the venue, like a horror movie side quest, NPC, offering hotel rooms and trying to flirt while I'm internally screaming, "How are you here again?" And the creepiest part wasn't even the stalking itself at first. It was seeing her in places that didn't fit her, like spotting your middle school librarian shotgunning beers at a monster truck rally. My brain kept glitching because she hated traveling, said it constantly. Yet, suddenly, she's driving hundreds of miles solo, chasing me around the Midwest like I'm the last PlayStation in a pandemic. I didn't understand it back then because I was still thinking like a normal person. I kept assuming logic would eventually enter the chat. Like surely, after rejection number 12, your brain goes, damn, maybe this dude doesn't want me. Nah, that's the thing about stalkers. After a certain point, it's not even about you anymore. You stop being a person and become a trophy they think they're owed, like some psycho emotional scavenger hunt. Took 6 months for her to disappear. Honestly, every random face in a crowd still messed with me for a long time after that. Your brain starts treating coincidence like a sniper laser. Story 7. My ex had this previous boyfriend she absolutely hated, and she never directly said, kill him, because apparently even psychos enjoy plausible deniability, but she kept dropping these insanely loaded comments like little criminal Easter eggs. Stuff like, somebody should really do something about him. He deserves whatever happens to him. You know, Nobody would even miss him. And then she'd just stare at me like, ma'am, why are you looking at me like I'm a Home Depot employee standing in the shovel aisle at midnight? At first, I honestly thought I was overreacting. Your brain does that thing where it tries to make crazy sound reasonable because accepting reality means admitting you're dating a human red flag wearing lip gloss. But after a while, it became very clear she wanted me to hurt this dude. I never even knew who the guy was, which honestly might have saved everybody involved. Meanwhile, she's talking about him like he's a super villain, ruining her life, while I'm sitting there internally screaming, "Girl, I still forget to mail my taxes. I am not your hitman." And the creepiest part? She'd say all this stuff calmly, like discussing weekend plans. That's what got me. No emotion. No yelling, just this weird, quiet manipulation where she wanted me to choose violence on my own, so technically her hands stayed clean. Needless to say, I left. Now she hates me because when I moved out, she couldn't afford the mortgage anymore since I was covering most of it, which honestly means I probably got promoted to top of her mental burn book. Hopefully, her ex is still alive somewhere doing dangerous wingsuit jumps, completely unaware he narrowly avoided becoming the B-plot in a true crime documentary. Story 8. About a year ago, I hit the Arby's drive-thru late at night because apparently my body had fully given up on wellness. I pull up to the window expecting the usual awkward, "have a nice day" NPC interaction. Instead, this employee starts aggressively flirting with me. At first, I laugh it off because people joke around in drive-thrus all the time, but then she asks if I want to hang out after work. I politely say no. She asks again and again. And now I'm trapped in this weird social hostage situation because I still need my damn mozzarella sticks. I'm smiling nervously the way people do when they're uncomfortable, but trying not to escalate things. Then suddenly this woman sticks her entire upper body out the drive-thru window trying to kiss me, like full fast food velociraptor attack. I panicked and rolled my window up immediately, while her coworker, who instantly realized this had crossed into absolutely the fuck not territory, physically pulled her back and handed me my food looking mortified. And honestly, shout out to that coworker forever because she handled it exactly how people should handle that kind of behavior. No excuses, no, "aw, she's just being friendly." None of that nonsense. I filed a complaint afterward and specifically mentioned the coworker who backed me up because otherwise, I know the story would have sounded fake. Like, "Sir, are you seriously claiming an Arby's employee attempted a drive-thru smooch assault?" Apparently the woman actually got fired too, which sounds harsh until you remember there is no universe where lunging headfirst into a stranger's car window counts as customer service. Story 9. I've had this neighbor for like 5 or 6 years, and from day one, something about her felt off. Barely talked to her because every interaction had this weird, uncanny energy. Like she was physically present but mentally standing behind me taking notes. Then random stuff started happening. A longtime family friend calls me out of nowhere like, "Hey man, heard you got a new motorcycle. Emily said it's a newer red one. What kind is it?" And I'm immediately like, hold up. How the hell would she know that? Then another call after I bought a boat, then after I got an RV. Then this dude casually mentions I was carrying drywall into my house and asks when I'm starting renovations. Brother, what? At that point, I realized this woman had apparently been observing me with the dedication of a wildlife documentary narrator. I'm out there mowing grass, thinking I'm just doing yard work. Meanwhile, somewhere behind a curtain, she's probably whispering, "The male suburbanite begins his seasonal migration toward Lowe's." And the creepiest part is she never acted normal in person. Ever. Every time I saw her outside, she'd barely say hi, all awkward and twitchy, then retreat back into the house like a cryptid avoiding direct eye contact. But somehow she knew everything. Cars I worked on, stuff I carried inside, new purchases. Probably knew my lawnmower's oil schedule better than I did. I spent years feeling like I was living next to an extremely introverted FBI intern. Her moving away honestly felt less like a neighbor leaving and more like successfully surviving a low-budget psychological thriller.